Guys, so today I wanted to talk to you about the OAGenius business checklist. And for online arbitrage, you're going to want to have a plan before you get started. And that doesn't just mean setting up your Amazon account, but there are plenty of steps to take before you actually set up your Amazon account and start selling from day one. So let's just start from the top. The first thing that you're going to want to do probably when you start your Amazon online arbitrage selling business or any sort of wholesale drop shipping business is set up an LLC and get your EIN number. Although this can be done at a later date, and you could start up your business with your personal information and account information, like bank account information, etc. It's better not to commingle funds and/or any of the information. So it's best to really start from scratch with a brand new EIN, which is effectively your business's social security number, as an example, and then associate a bank account with that and credit cards with that. And so everything is kept completely separate, and it's really crisp and clean and easy to manage. So we're all about setting things up the right way from the beginning. And so the first step would be to set up your LLC. Again, this could be done at a later date, but we recommend to do it upfront and before you even start getting selling. So as you can see here in these slides that I will share, eventually you could see like two services that we know some of our clients have used in the past. But again, you can feel free to contact whoever you would like in order to set these things up. Setup should be fairly quickly done, and you'll be up and running in no time. I'd say the setup should cost no more than $350 to $400. Next, it's really important to have your accounting in order. So your next step will likely be, once you have your LLC set up, is to the bank. I like to recommend JP Morgan Chase because their online banking is simplistic and pretty easy to use. I know some of the international sellers have had an easier time using Bank of America or Capital One in order to open up their accounts and to start building their credit. If you are a US citizen, though, it may be just as easy to open up a Chase account and get credit cards through them and other places. But at least their online banking is super simplistic, easy to move money around, easy to sync them with all the different QuickBooks or Mint or whatever accounting software that you're planning to use. So your next up would be with a business banker at the bank of your choice. Maybe something that's close to your home. After that, you're going to want to get credit cards for this business. So this business is heavily reliant on the types of credit cards you use, and so there's a lot of benefits to this business. But one of them is both the cash back and the points that you might get as rewards from the cards that you select, but also, of course, the benefit of this business is that if you can set up your credit the right way and build up your credit in a timely fashion, then you'll never have to come out of pocket, not even $1, in order to grow a multi-million-dollar business. And follow me for an example here. If you're able to get a hold of $50,000 worth of credit on multiple different credit cards, that will allow you to buy $100,000 worth of product, which will keep you busy for a while. In the meantime, you'll be banking the cash and the profits from the business all the way up. But since you get paid from Amazon twice a month, you could actually buy $100,000 worth of product with the $50,000 line, because you'll get paid from Amazon on the 1st and the 15th, for example. You'll then pay down your credit card, and then you'll have another available $50,000 worth of purchasing power. Let's talk about the differences between the advantages, and there's, of course, different advantages with like additional cash back from affiliate links and stuff like that we'll talk about soon. But just direct cash back from credit cards. There's cashback and points cards. A cashback card example would be the Capital One Spark. That's a business card. Although it will reflect on your personal credit, your credit score. It is still a business card, and on the personal card that you can just use for business in terms of cash back, we also like the 2% cash back card from Citi, Citi Double Cash Card. And a lot of people are using the Amex Plum card because as you gain a rapport with Amex, they'll start to give you very high credit limits, and they'll help you grow your business quite dramatically. But again, that's another 2% cash back card. So all those mentioned cards are 2% cash back cards. The other way to go is travel points and miles. And the rewards programs that I like best are the ones from Chase. Again, they'll give you something between 60,000 and 100,000 points when you spend $5,000 within the first 3 months of business with them. But also, the points are worth a lot, and on their exchange, and they have a lot of partners and a lot of airline carriers and a lot of hotels that work very well with them. Another huge perk of this business is that if you rack up points, they're worth like 1.5 times the travel. So basically, like 100,000 points, which is what you would get after you spend $100,000 on the card, or $5,000 the initial time when they give you the bonus, will equate to about $1,000 worth of travel in a normal instance. But since on their exchange they give you a better exchange rate, it'll probably be worth something in the range of $1,300 to $1,500 worth of travel. So you can buy a flight or hotel night stays that are worth up to between $1,300 and $1,500 on that same 100,000 points. So it's really effective to travel that way. Now, which ones are better? It's all a personal preference. You can argue that in points, you'll use them to travel and get relaxed and come back into your business refreshed, and or be able to see more of the world. Whereas cash back, you would have to actually save that money once you get the cash in your hand in order to use it for travel. And so a lot of people have trouble doing that, and they'll end up like spending it on other things. And so, if you wanted to specifically travel, then the points are great. If you wanted cash in your hand, the cashback is better. From a strictly like one-to-one basis, like which one is actually better? If you know how to manage your money well, cashback is better because it's 2% instead of the 1 point per dollar, which would equate to approximately like 1% or 1.3% when you're talking about like using it through Chase's exchange. So on $100,000 in purchases, I would make $2,000 in cash back or 100,000 points worth $1,300. Of course, cash back is better. The same thing applies to 200,000 and spend, 300,000 and spend, 400,000 and spend. Just multiply it. For 200,000 and spend, you would get a check for $4,000. For 300,000 and spend, you get a check for $6,000. That's a pretty nice perk. That's before any profit within the business at all. Now, for your accounting purposes, I'd like to recommend QuickBooks. If you don't want to pay for anything at first, you could probably get away with Mint.com, Mint.com. But once you start getting a little bit more well versed and you're starting to get like a lot more transactions in place, definitely the more professional way to go is QuickBooks. It's a lot more accurate and it allows you to reconcile, and your accountant will definitely thank you. So I would like to recommend QuickBooks for that. So in the QuickBooks account, you'll just sign up for an account and you will link your bank account, you will link your credit cards, and then QuickBooks will pull all those transactions in, and you can allocate them to different expenses, whether it's office expenses or merchandise, inventory, income from Amazon, and any other expenses that you might have against the business. It could all be tracked there. Moving right along. So setting up an Amazon Seller Central account. So there's a few things that you would want to do when you're setting up an Amazon Seller Central account. And you're going to need a pro merchant account. So you can sell without a pro merchant account, but I believe it's like $1 for every sale, up to a certain dollar amount or whatever it may be. It's much more cost effective to go with a pro merchant account. Also, without a pro merchant account, you will not be eligible for featured merchant status, which is required to win the buy box. And of course, if you know anything or don't know anything about Amazon yet, I'll just tell you that a prerequisite to selling items is trying to obtain the buy box, because 80% of sales, 80+% of sales, occur from within the buy box. And the buy box is just the box that you see right front and center when you reach your product page and it says add to cart. That's the person who's in the buy box at that moment in time. And without a pro merchant account, you will not be eligible for that positioning. The pro merchant account is $39.99. You could go to settings, account info, your services and manage. We have another video that I'll put in the link at the bottom of this video that will explain to you how to set up your account from beginning to end, including the next few things that I'm talking about here: shipping rates, delivery times, how we recommend to do 3 to 5 business days to start with free shipping, and then move on to like expedited shipping terms and stuff, shipping rates and delivery times, stuff like that. With regards to shipping terms, we provide them for you above, and again, you'll be able to use whatever you want to use and discard whatever you don't want to use, but this is just like a template for you to get started if you didn't want to come up with them from scratch. And you would drop those into your account as well. Again, this is outlined in the other video that we'll link to below. You're going to want to connect your Amazon account to your business bank account. The business bank account will be for sending you your funds, and then the credit card will be for charging you your monthly fee, etc. So the last thing that I'm going to tell you to do on this page is to remove your open listing reports from your seller notifications. And you could just follow to this link and then go to open listing reports and then remove that notification. You're going to get bombarded with emails if you have your open listing notifications on. Once you set up your inventory management, order management, price management software, or any other third-party software that starts pulling against Amazon's open listings to see which products you have live, they're going to hit you with an email every time service requests that information. The other thing that we could talk about with regards to the pro merchant account is that if you don't have a pro merchant account, you will not have access to the API information. API credentials in order to allow third-party services such as inventory feedback tools, tax solutions, etc., be able to access your account via the API. And so it makes things a whole lot harder, and everything has to be manual that way. So it's just a no-brainer. You're obviously going to need a pro merchant account, and just wanted to give you some examples of what you would get with a pro merchant account. Moving right along. So the next thing I'd recommend is to set up 2 different email accounts. And one is your main email account, like the one that you as the business owner gets to manage and monitor and filter out for only things that are very important for you to see. And the other email is a Gmail account that most of the information from the first email account gets forwarded to. But it's for your employees to work out of, and so that you'd be able to forward them important information. All right, so the reason why you do this is because you don't really want anybody to have access to your email account, right? For security purposes, you really need to keep that secure, because every service and every supplier and every wholesaler that you sign up for with your first email account let's say you do a forgot password and it comes into that account, and then you can take a hold of that account and take it over. Again, I'm sure I don't have to explain to you the security measures that need to be taken here, but anybody who has access to that email account will have the keys to your store and your business. So very important to forward only the pertinent information, auto forward to your second email account, where your employees will have access to, and where you can remove their access. You can remove their access easily if anything ever comes about and you need to revoke access from one individual person. I'll show you how you can set that up with the use of LastPass. So they'll only have access to store the ABC Store 2 at Gmail by you giving them access to their own private email via LastPass. So the next thing is a really quick thing, but it's really nice, a nice application to have when you're selling on Amazon. It gives you a quick snapshot of sort of where you're at for the month, the last 30 days, in terms of like sales, in terms of open orders that are required to be shipped soon, in terms of your account health metrics, in terms of the messages you have coming into your system, in terms of your daily sales, in terms of your advertising, etc. It all gets downloaded into this Amazon Seller Central phone application, which you could carry along with you, obviously on your cell, and you can't run the entire business based off of it, but it does give you a good idea as to where you're at any point throughout the day, and then you could be in touch with your team of virtual assistants in order to resolve issues and keep track of metrics, et cetera, throughout the day. So it allows you to step away from your computer at least and still have an idea of where you're at. So we talked about cash back with regards to the credit cards before. And points, which was like one of the huge benefits of this business. But in addition to that, there's an entire affiliate marketing play with regards to online retail, arbitrage, dropshipping that has to that revolves around like affiliate links that come from these networks. So Be Frugal is one of them, and Ebates is another. And it's simple enough to just go to those sites, sign up for an account, and then before you make a purchase on Walmart, Home Depot, Bed Bath & Beyond, Zoro, etc., you would just click on your affiliate link, go make the purchase, and then be eligible for between 1 and 15% cash back on any sale. So that adds up really, really quickly. You could check which one or which affiliate program has the best cash back for that day for each supplier, or you could go with one that you really trust. These two that you see on the screen are definitely trusted. They make their payouts on time or whenever requested, and they seem to be fairly accurate with regards to their tracking. I've seen some issues with some others. That's why we wouldn't necessarily recommend them, but we won't also steer you away from them. There are other cashback sites that may have better programs depending on the specific day. These are just two that we'd like to recommend. Okay, so LastPass. LastPass, when we're talking about security, is basically your best friend. You're going to want to set up different folders within LastPass. First, you'll set up your own LastPass account, and your LastPass account will basically save all of your passwords for you. And so then you can create folders for passwords that allow access to all of your suppliers, that allow access to your email accounts, that allow access to Amazon accounts, etc. And you can share that access with any other email account that has a LastPass account. The beauty is that it will autofill those passwords for your employees, but you can restrict them from being able to see what the password actually is. So as long as they have access to the folder, You could give them access to enter into a Walmart site or a Home Depot site on your behalf without actually being able to see your actual password. It'll just autofill the email address of the main site's email address, and then your password alongside it. If you just keep track of which one of your employees have access to LastPass, and not all of them will need it, only the order processors will, then you will be able to grant access to any new suppliers that you open up and or restrict access from any employees that have since expired. So LastPass is a really, really powerful tool, and recommend setting this up for any store that's going to have virtual assistants or even non-virtual assistants, just employees in general, in order to give them access to any of your accounts that are necessary for this business or any business. Okay, so there are a few main components to this business that will occur throughout getting yourself set up and then running your store and scaling your store and really bringing it to the next level. And there's a bunch of things that come into play. And OAGenius as a software will help you take care of mostly all of those things. So inventory, what's in stock or out of stock at the supplier at any given moment in time. Price is subject to fluctuation on these retailers at any given time throughout the day, and in fact happens multiple times throughout the day. I think you'd probably not be surprised to know that on Amazon there are millions of price changes that are happening per hour, if not per day. And so too on all of the source sites, like the retailers are also changing prices throughout the day to stay competitive with other retail sites across the web throughout the day, and making price changes based off of that information and data that they're bringing in from different places. The next thing that you're going to need to keep track of is orders that are coming in. And what happens when an order comes in? An order needs to be placed on the source site, and it needs to be tracked. So you need to bring your own order ID in and your total cost and see if you've made profit on that sale. The inventory and price monitoring will help make sure that you're selling for a profit at all times and that you're only selling products that you have in stock. Once the order comes in, you'd have to place the order, and then you want your order ID and cost coming into the system automatically, which it does. And then eventually you're going to get a tracking number. And the tracking number is going to come in the form of an email. When the email comes in, we'll also pull the tracking number into OAGenius, and then eventually we will confirm the shipment on Amazon for you. So those are a lot of time-consuming tasks that can't be done really manually. Maybe in the beginning when you have a few products, you might be able to, but from listing products to the inventory price and order management system, and to Amazon simultaneously, to tracking inventory and price and all orders that are coming in, to tracking the progress of an order and putting notes on it for any returns or mistakes or errors, or where the order is actually at any given point in time, to tracking and reporting. That's all done within one unified backbone piece of software that we call OAGenius. And that will help you literally run your business. It's the brain of your business, and it runs in the background. But you will literally either yourself or your virtual assistants will be working within that software throughout the day, 24 hours a day, if orders are coming in throughout the day, which we're expecting will happen over time. Of course, as a beginner, you can probably monitor a few pieces of inventory on your own. But eventually, it makes sense to invest in this piece of software to stay most organized. And I'd say, like, probably even after only having 5 products, you can't track inventory and price and orders as quickly as anybody else would be able to with the use of a software. And so they will be getting buy box positioning over you and making sales faster than you are, and on top of their not having any problems with products being out of stock. or the price being off, and a whole slew of other things. Tracking uploads. All these things add up in terms of time and effort and profit. Really, it all boils down to sales and profit in the end. And so, if you're not using the right inventory, price, order, tracking, reporting softwares to get you to the level of certainty within your business and organization within your business, then you're really leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit on the table. The next piece of software, which is not necessary, per example, in the beginning, but you may want to use also, again, it's not a necessary piece of software to use from day one, but you might want to use it to build up your reviews within Amazon, because reviews and feedback and stuff like that helps you have more clout. And you'll be more trusted, and Amazon will take that into consideration with regards to your obtaining of the buy box. And so we recommend OAGenius. There's other softwares as well called Feedback 5, etc. And you could just set up like two simple templates just to start. We've outlined them for you here in case you want to use them. But really, you could come up with your own if you like. One when the item is shipped, and one a few days after the item has been delivered. If it's been delivered within X amount of days of shipment, you could set up like a segmentation that basically says that you should send this email only if it gets tracked, if the tracking number and the item gets delivered within 5 days of the order being placed, or something like that. So that would be a good strategy for the delivery. After delivery check-in, and basically asking them for a positive feedback. All right, so next is Informed App Eagle or price management software. Again, we recommend informed.co. Let me put that in here, inform.co. Previously, App Eagle for price management. They have been around for a very long time. They have very robust customizable strategies and algorithmic strategies. And also, they have a direct API integration into OAGenius with a direct integration. What that means is that we'll monitor at OAGenius, we'll monitor your total cost of product. So it's cost plus tax plus shipping, if any of those are applicable, and that gets bundled up into your total cost. Now, in an ideal world, you're going to have a price management software in place. Whether it's Informed.co or a different price management software, you need a price management and manipulation. Prices change every second on Amazon. And so it's very, very, very important that you get this price management software in place right away. And so your strategy may be different on day one than it is on day 120 or on day 365. But it is important to have it in place day one, because the second somebody undercuts you by 1 penny or matches you on a brand new listing, on a brand new account, you are going to get priced out of wherever positioning you're in. And since your account is going to show up as just launched or something like that, nobody is going to buy from you. And so it's very, very important to have price manipulation. So what happens is that OAGenius bundles up your total cost, and that gets sent via an API. In the back end, there's an integration that basically sends that cost to Inform.co, and Inform.co will then create your minimum and maximum thresholds for selling. They will not reprice your items until they have a minimum threshold in the system. And now, so once you have your minimum threshold accounted for, and you could basically set that up based on like, I want to at minimum, based on my cost and after Amazon selling fees, I want to walk away with 10% or 12% or 8%. Those strategy settings can all be set within Inform.co. And that entire calculation from beginning to end, from sending your total cost to setting your minimum maximum thresholds based off of like profit margin or ROI or dollar amount net profitability will all be done automatically, and you will literally be repricing against your competition based off of your strategy within minutes after the product goes live on Amazon. And so how much better of an opportunity is that than actually manually taking that product, putting it into your repricing software, or not using a repricing software, putting your price at a penny below the competition and then leaving it there. So what happens 15 minutes later or 5 minutes later when the competition is using a repricing software, or a new competition comes onto the listing and they reprice 5 cents less than you, or 10 cents above you, or 20 cents above you? Now you're selling at a price that you could either be making more money or not be making any money because you're going to be priced out. And so repricing software doesn't only price you downwards, it could also price you upwards. Let's say some of your competition that is selling below your minimum selling threshold sells out, but the next closest competitor is $5 above you. Now your repricing software will reprice you upwards in between your minimum and maximum thresholds, and now you've just gained another $5 profit on that one particular sale, however many times you sell that product, and so on and so forth. Again, you would never have the opportunity. You would have never had the opportunity to make that sale at $5 more or $10 more had you not had a repricing software in place. So you can use this link right here to go check out our friends at Informed. And I'll probably make a video about how to set up some of your strategies within Informed and what each of the strategy settings mean at some point or another. The next thing you're going to want to do is have customer service templates for either for yourself or for your customer service VA. And this is just like precautionary. Of course, you can come up with them along the way and make them up, and you can come up with your own. But if you wanted to join us and look through some of ours, we've taken liberty to create these templates on your behalf, and you could just go ahead and steal these from us, no problem. If you want to make subtle tweaks, that's fine. But we have everything from freight forwarding, state restrictions, what happens if a lost package, what do we do for a driver's investigation, back ordered, etc., etc. And we'll put the links to those customer service templates absolutely free. In the bottom of this email, in the bottom of this video. And you'll be right on your way. Again, new types of customer service complaints come up every day. Not every single one accounted for in these templates, but you can create templates for yourself along the way as you encounter new things. This will just give you a jump start so that you know what to do in certain situations. Even if you don't use the template itself, you'll know what to expect, based on like previous clients' customer service complaints and issues. Finally, once you're done setting up all of these different tools and softwares and applications to get your business ready to be selling, right? The first thing that you're going to need to do in order to sell is, of course, you're going to need to have product. And so what's beautiful about this business is that you can list unlimited products, but it doesn't cost you anything to have the product, quote unquote, in your inventory. So the only time it ever costs you money is when you're actually going to make money on it. And so when you sell the product, you're going to go and purchase it and ship it directly to your client, whether or not it's online arbitrage or retail arbitrage or wholesale drop shipping. The same thing stays constant with regards to this business. You need a product to sell, you list it for sale, it gets sold, you purchase it, and you ship it to your client. And so it all starts with product sourcing. And since it's so inexpensive to have products in your inventory, but it is difficult sometimes to find the products. We've come out with a product sourcing extension that will effectively help you do your job 100 times faster than if you were to do it manually. So the normal process would basically look like either you or a virtual assistant or many virtual assistants manually going through products in a particular category that they think may have profit, scanning Zorro, Home Depot, Bed Bath & Beyond, etc., taking the UPCs and the product name, searching that same product on Amazon and on Bed Bath & Beyond or your retail site, and then seeing and doing all the calculations on a spreadsheet or something like that in order to find products with profitability after all Amazon fees. And so we've taken all of that complication out of the equation. You simply go to any of the supported websites, you'll click our extension, and in one fell swoop, we will scan the entire page, whatever you've searched, and try to find those matches on Amazon for you. Once we've found the matches, we'll reverse engineer all of the calculations for you, so take all the guesswork sort of out of it, and show you which products are profitable and which are not. And so that will speed up your process tremendously. So you don't have to do the calculations. You don't have to manually go back and forth between the source site and Amazon, clicking on multiple tabs and stuff like that and trying to see where the product is or which product it is or if it matches or if it doesn't. And then we'll tell you if there's profit, if it's within a certain sales rank, BSR. So that's sales rank, and sales rank will tell you the propensity in which a product has to sell. So the lower to 1, the better it is within that category, and the higher probability of selling it has. Also, you can filter for products with like a minimum ROI of X or a minimum profit margin of Y. So all of these things are done for you on the back end, and all you'll have to do is click a button and then validate that the matches are correct. So this will save you tremendous amounts of time. You will list many, many different products into your inventory management tool, into OAGenius, and then eventually when you make your sales, we'll help you with the order automation. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this OAGenius pre-selling business checklist. And we look forward to helping you to start your successful Amazon businesses in the near future. Should you have any questions or concerns, you can always reach out to success@oagenius.com. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you so much.